Hello. Yes, guys. Today we're going to see the the cloud formation thing. So what we have covered so far, if you recall our previous lectures about code commit, then code build, then code deploy. We deploy the code deploy agent on EC2 instances, and then we deploy our artifact versions on the EC2 instance using code deploy, and it was successful. And then we club those things together to form the pipeline, the AWS the code the code pipeline. But you know, um, having said that, there are many things which can automate those things through Lambda. So one of the things that we have seen is code commit with Lambda, and I'm talking about whatever we have covered in the class basically. So if you need a more uh, detailed lab um, definition, how we perform the lab, then please call me and you can join the classes, guys. So my only request to all of you who are you know trying to get into the DevOps thing, um, get more and more um, the trainings, the in-place trainings means somebody is talking, you can discuss with him, and that is the real training, guys. The training which is a one-way training, normally in YouTube or Udemy, these trainings are good. I'm not saying those are not good. Even the YouTube videos, some of the videos are really informative videos. But when it comes to discussion, discussion means if you don't understand, you ask the questions, right? And you cannot ask the questions at the end of the training, or once you finish the training after 10-15 days, if somebody asks you, tell me what are the problems you have. So we cannot tell all the problems because you need to clarify all your doubts while you're working. So those things are very important if you really want to crack the DevOps interview, guys. DevOps interviews is not just about knowledge, guys. Remember, rem- this DevOps interviews are based on your practical knowledge. You don't need to be a very, hardcore DevOps guy or certified DevOps guy or working with some high man companies like Amazon or big companies. No. The important thing is if you have performed 5 to 6 labs, labs mean the assignment that we normally give to the client or the students. If you've practiced those 6 to 7 labs, total number of chapters would be 10, and approximately the labs will be 8 or 9 labs are there. So out of the 9 labs, if you perform 6 to 7 labs on daily basis, the chances to crack the interview will be 80 to 90%. So DevOps is all about the practical guys, you know, and for Azure and for AWS, things are a bit different because you don't need to pay something to do the real lab because that's what the experience they are looking for. So if you feel that everything is covered in the free tier, uh, then you might miss some real world or the practical stuff from your experience, guys. So yeah, let's go it with the cloud formation. By the way, this is the first class for cloud formation, and I would like to share something with you guys regarding the project thing for Azure. So we will do that at the end of the session. So. So when you see the cloud formation is Amazon's answer or AWS answer for infrastructure as a code request. We know that, you know, in in AWS or any Amazon, Azure, or wherever, if you want to create thousands of servers, let's say 300 plus servers, 400 plus servers, along with that VPC, along with that, private subnet, public subnet, deployment of application, creating a web server, you know, do some analytics also. do some log file analysis also. So those things we need massive amount of um, efforts are required. Every time you need to log in and then you need to do those things. But in cloud formation, the cloud formation will give you some templates that will help you to create the infrastructure. And if you're, preparing for AWS DevOps professional course or professional exam, then I would recommend you to go to this documentation page on Amazon and go through this everything, all the all the chapters. So let's getting started with that. When you create a stack, a stack is nothing but uh, with the steps of your um, with request, whatever the request you want to create. Let's say you want to create S3 bucket with some Lambda functions, or S3 bucket with you create the EC2 instance, then you create the EC2 S3 bucket, and then you want to dump some file in that S3 bucket. So that those are the things you will create that one. So here, if you might have noticed here, so if you get started, because this is something I normally take a deep interest in that because I love cloud formation, and cloud formation is something very, very favorite topic for me. And by the way, guys, if you are preparing for interview, make sure that you have at least two chapters or two areas where you are really, really strong. You have to have a PhD level knowledge. I'm not saying everything, but at least two. It's CI/CD pipeline or Kubernetes, or CI/CD pipeline or cloud formation, or if you're champion in um, the other areas like Terraform or something, then you can jump into that. But the easiest thing is CI/CD and the Kubernetes. So, if you tell these things to your interviewer, then he will focus the questions on these two areas mainly. The other things also, then tell them that I know I have a BTech level knowledge in other things, but important thing is these two areas. So this is you create the template. There are many. One is a JSON template, and the same thing you can write in the YAML. So we will see the YAML thing, and we'll see the how the YAML things get written, and what is the format they use, what are the tools and techniques they use, because it's something, um, some protocol they follow when you write the YAML code, and those things you will learn during the training. So in my case, if I see here, this is something I have written. This is a custom resource S3 bucket creation. So the first thing is version, then resources, then um, the type properties. These are the things that um, you need to remember those things. And important thing is this version, resources, metadata, dependencies. These are the key areas in your YAML file, basically in your cloud formation. So cloud formation is not just to tell the computer or tell the AWS guys that okay, do please create this one, but it has so many other features also, the dependency features, the plugin features, um, the the connection features. Then one script is connected to other script. If that script, the condition features, like one condition is true, then only create the S3 bucket. Otherwise, don't create that. So that is also part of the cloud formation thing. So we'll cover those things in our some other classes. So if you go here and if I um, open the template, use the sample template. I will go here and um, you upload the template, and I will go here and I will select this um, the custom resource S3 bucket template, and I will say next. I will give the name. Name would be own um, formation template or S3 formation template. You can see the tags here if you want to keep that tag. By the way, permissions are very important. I am role permissions. It's I am role, and you can select this AWS Cloud Permission Admin role. AWS Cloud Permission Admin role will use this role for all stack operation. Stack failure, rollback, no issues. Stack policy, rollback, notification, and those things that we will cover in our upcoming section. And here we will create the stack. Let's see how it goes. It's saying failed. Let's see. I want to make sure that you guys are, you know, watching all many failures. So um, that will help you to, you know, understand how things works. So if the stacks is failing, then something is you need to check it out. Where the yeah here we go. So rollback incomplete, rollback in progress, creation in progress, user initiated. So it looks like um, the stack is not successful, and we need to find why it is not successful. So this training is all about how you tackle the failures. So in my uh, my training, nothing is very easily created something. So I don't want to show that everything is working and then just to close the matter. No, you need to understand why the failures are happening and how to fix that failure. That's something very important to understand, right? So let's see. This is my stack ID, and here rollback is incomplete. Let's see what is the issue, and let me refresh it. So here you can see the output parameters, resources, events, um, but you need to know what happens exactly during our activation, means the creation process, the S3 template creation process. So status reason you can see no export name um, empty S3 bucket lambda found. So rollback requested by the user. So the issue that we are facing here is a rollback incomplete creation in progress. So no export name empty S3 bucket lambda means this is something they are looking for maybe, and that is the reason it is getting failed. So always my suggestion to every DevOps aspirant is look at the logs, what they are trying to tell you, and don't get scared with that. Oh, something is not working. We are there. If you need any help, I am here to support you. But you need to read everything that why it is failing. In this case, if you create this bucket, uh, then maybe the rollback requested by the that may get fixed. So in the next lecture, we'll make sure that we have this bucket created. Now, the second thing is regarding the Azure thing. So Azure thing, I was telling you guys that we have almost 7 to 8 projects out there, and these projects will help you to you know to understand the Azure DevOps and uh, help you to crack the Azure DevOps interviews. Similar things we have for AWS also. So if you're either Azure guys or AWS guys, feel free to contact me uh, on the on the number. So I just want to show you something as what are the projects looks like. So here is a project statement, and here you will get this kind of statement that you are working in this. This is kind of a scenario you will be actually when you work. you will get this kind of a scenario. Okay, you are um, you are working in some company as a DevOps engineer, and then you will get a ticket that okay, do this, create ASP.NET core application. And by the way, you need to know the code, how to create the application, not as an application developer, but the steps, high level steps. Then get the code, create the CI/CD pipeline, and then deploy this application deploy to the Azure web app. How to do that? Those the high level steps you need to know. This is the first project, guys. The second project is how to deploy your application through Docker. So you have the high level steps to create the .NET application, and you have the steps to create the Docker-based solution and deploy the Azure Kubernetes cluster using Azure DevOps. You can use that one. And now, once you deploy, something has to be done to check in the solution of the Azure repos. Create CI/CD pipeline to deploy this application to a container registry, then successful deployment of the container registry. Let the changes propagate to the Azure Kubernetes cluster. And the the next project will be something like um, how do you manage your repos? How do you um, manage vulnerabilities um, in your code? And how do you manage the security in their code? So this is also one more project for you guys. Um, the second thing is the fourth project is to create the pipeline using YAML and deploy the application through CI/CD and Azure Web App sample application. The sixth project is, if you see this here, create the Azure container registry in Azure, and then check the solution in repos and create the Azure pipeline to deploy application as an image to the Azure container registry. Then we have some projects on uh, creating a pipeline. Users to can visualize the Azure pipeline operate means if the users doesn't have is not sitting in front of the computer, somewhere he should know that the DevOps or the pipelines, whatever you have created, is successful or is having some issue. So they need to connect with the Microsoft Teams. So how do you connect those things with the Microsoft team? This is also one of the project. And the second one is similar to the Microsoft team. If uh, the pipeline deploys any issues, any issue comes in, how do you come to know that the issues are there and how do you fix that issues? And finally, we have one project that will show the issues identified in the Sonar Cloud and the white source. This is just to show the DevSecOps if you worked on the DevSecOps. So this project means these assessments, these assignments will give you enough knowledge and practical experience in Azure DevOps, which will help you to really crack the interview. And by the way, every day you need to finish minimum 4 projects until you know, to crack the interview and get the real world knowledge for at least 1 year. Believe me, guys, I'm telling this is again and again that even though if you crack the interview, if you get a call, these things are necessary until you finish your 1 or 2 years in DevOps industry. So these are the 8 projects. If you are really interested, then ping me and I will provide you all this project. But these projects are a part of our training. So it would be nice if you could join this training and then we'll do these projects one by one. Till then, happy learning, guys.